Hi everyone, I'm Lynette and welcome to the practice of Yin Yoga. Get comfortable, take a comfortable position. I'm seated in Sukhasana on a block, but you can take any position that feels good for you just for a few minutes so that we can land on our mat and land in the space and land in this practice. You can lay down even if that feels better for you. Remember, always listen to your body. Today's practice is going to focus on the pelvis and the hip area. A lot of us sit a lot and this area gets tight and restricted. So creating some mobility and fluidity in the middle body, our center. Just as a note, make sure you have a couple blocks and a blanket or a pillow or whatever you have at home to practice with, just to support your body in any way that you need to. So as you settle onto your mat, just notice the meeting points where your body touches the space beneath you. I want you to feel grounded and supported here. Just allowing your body to sink down, feeling the support rise up to meet you. And taking a few deep breaths here as you settle in, and feel free to set an intention or a dedication for your practice today. And then when you're ready, we're going to go onto our backs. And just pull your knees in towards you, and you can rock side to side. You can make circles with your knees, massaging the low back area. Really just taking any movement that feels good for you, nourishing, releasing. You can bring your nose to your knees if you want. And we're going to start out in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined angle pose. We're not binding or anything. So soles of the feet come together, knees open. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And in this position, we're going to start with a little bit of breath work. So I want you to focus on breathing in and filling the belly and the chest and feeling your hands rise as you inhale. And as you exhale, soften. Inhale, breathing into both hands, filling the belly, filling the chest. And exhale. Really expanding into the belly. Deep belly breaths here, which helps to calm the mind and the nervous system. Inhale, fill the hands. Exhale, soften the back body down into the mat. Taking a few more like that. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then you can slowly guide the knees together and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side a few times. And then I want you to take your block, or if you just have a pillow or a blanket, that's okay. You're going to place it under your sacrum, so pressing into the feet to lift the hips and adjusting until you're comfortable. And then I want you to bring the right knee in and stretch out the left leg. So if this does not feel good for you to do this on the block or on an elevated prop, just do it flat on your back. This is a little stronger. We're getting right into that hip area. So by bringing in the right knee and stretching out the left leg, you're going to feel this in the front of the left hip area. And just like all yin practices, I always say this is a passive practice. So we're not holding ourselves up, we're not squeezing everything in. This is the practice of allowing. So once you put yourself into this shape, how can you let go? How can you soften? How can you trust the pose to do the work? We're not here too long, we're just warming up a little bit. We're going to do this same shape in a lunge position soon. Inhale and exhale. Again, softening the fingers, the toes, the eyes, the jaw. And just allow the pose to do the work. Allow the body to start to soften and release a little bit before we go deeper. And then you can bring the left knee in to meet the right. And take a few breaths here, just dangling your feet. You can roll out the ankles if you want. You can point and flex the feet. Really good to do in the morning before you even get out of bed. Rotating the ankles. And then when you're ready, you can switch sides. So bringing the left knee in and stretching out the right leg. So again, I'm still on my block. You're going to feel this throughout the right front hip area. But we are on a block, so it's a little bit of a back bend, so you might feel it in your low back too. That's okay to feel a little something. We're compressing the back body a little bit here, the low back specifically. If it's too much, please just remove the block and come down and do the same thing. Inhale and exhale. Soften the jaw. Allow the back of the head to drop into the mat. And try not to squeeze your fingers too tightly here. Breathing in, you're aware of the body. You're aware of the sensations, and as you exhale, you relax the body. If you notice yourself getting tense anywhere, just notice that's happening and soften with each exhale. Good, and then you can bring both knees in. And again, just hang out here for a few breaths. You might even want to stretch out your legs. So it's like legs up the wall without the wall. We're just on the block. Feel free to keep the legs bent or straight, it doesn't matter. Both are a little inversion, just to get the blood flowing through the legs. And then wherever you are, 1 foot at a time, place them on the ground, lift your hips, take that block out and lower all the way down. And just take a few breaths. And then we're going to do that same action again without the block, but a little different. So bring your right knee in, and then hold the right knee in the right hand and open up to the right. So the right knee is open and bent. And you can place your left hand on your left hip or thigh just to keep your body grounded down. You don't want to tip over. So we're just breathing into that inner right hip area. You can always put a block under your knee for support. Just take it over as far as feels good for you. And just take a few breaths here. And then bring the knee in, bring the left knee in, and switch sides. So left hand holds the left knee, and you open up to the left. And I ground down my right side with my right hand, just so I stay flat on the ground. And remember, you can always put a block under the knee to support that opening. Breathing deeply into the belly, into the inner hip area. And exhale. Good, just a few more breaths here. And release. Bring both knees in. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side for a breath. And then you can press yourselves up. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of that same movement, but in an upright position. So we're gonna move into dragon poses right away. If there's any movement you want to take first, like cat-cow, go ahead. Inhaling and exhaling. You could always wait for us in a child's pose. Just focus on the breath, breathing with your movement. Whatever you're doing, you're breathing. And then I want you, from hands and knees, to step the right foot forward between your hands. Now, I like a blanket under my knee because, well, the floor is hard and we want to cushion the knees. Don't let that be the reason you come out of the pose. So set yourself up, nice long lunge. That means your back knee is far away from your front heel. And the knee can come past the ankle a little bit, but as long as that doesn't feel bad for your knee, if it does, keep the joints stacked, knee on top of ankle. And have your blocks handy, which I should have said before, but have your blocks handy just in case. And hang out here, just a baby dragon. This is called baby dragon. You can always place your hands on the blocks, onto your fists, your hands, as long as it's soft. Keep it soft. In yin yoga, we call lunges dragon poses. When we have this different name, we have a different association to it. And in yin yoga, it's this passive, yin-like, softer practice. So dragon poses, approach them with a soft perspective, if you will. Don't push yourself down, just allow yourself to soften down. And you're welcome to stay there if that's enough for you. Or we can now move into low flying dragon. So we walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat maybe, the hands come to the inside. And let's turn the right toes out a little bit and make sure the knee and the toes are moving in the same direction. And then we come down. So you might bring your forearms to the floor, or you might bring your forearms to blocks or a bolster or whatever you have, books, work. low flying dragon. So we're coming down a little bit. If it's too much, keep your hands on the floor or on blocks. And you can let the head totally relax here. Remember, we're not holding ourselves up. It's the opposite. We want to feel like we're dropping down. We're here for a few minutes. And the thing about yin is it can be really relaxing. Some might call it easy. It's just a different kind of work. It's a different kind of effort. It's about learning to get comfortable in the uncomfortable. So remember, you want to find your edge. You find that place in your pose where you're feeling it, but you haven't gone over that edge. You know you've gone over if you can't breathe, you're shaking a little bit, you're holding yourself up. If that's the case, you need to back off a bit. So it's always kind of a choose your own adventure. Find your edge, find that just right position, and then hang out there. And you don't have to go to your deepest edge. If tension is 1 to 10, 10 being the strongest, just go to like 6 or 7. Good, and then you can take a breath and slowly come up, and you can walk your foot back to center, and we'll just take a little break, shifting our hips back into a half splits pose. So we shift our hips back and straighten out that front leg. Now you might want blocks under the hands, especially if you're dangling. Prop your hands up so you're supported. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And you should be feeling this through the back of the front leg. Inhale, exhale. And it's not over yet. We're gonna go back into a lunge. So just shifting your weight forward again. And now we're gonna take high flying dragon. So slowly place your hands either on blocks or on your front thigh. And think of pressing the belly away from the knee away from the belly. But don't come all the way up, right? Your body is coming up as you inhale, but as you exhale, you're still dropping down, you're still softening down. There's almost like 2 actions, an energetic flow up and an energetic grounding down. And if you want a little bit more, it's an option. For the last few breaths, lift that left arm up, and you're going to feel a stretch through that whole front line of the body. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to relax the jaw and the shoulders. Soften the eyes. Inhale, and as you exhale, hands come back down. Moaning and groaning is allowed as you shift your hips back again. Same thing, stretch out the front leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, just fold forward and allow your head to relax. You can open the mouth and stretch out the jaw. Soften the spot between your eyes. Just breathing into the back of the leg. Try to straighten your legs, so shift your hips back. And then we'll slowly come out again. Take your time. And just take any movement that feels good to release. So you might just stretch out your legs, or I find a down dog can feel really good now. You can pedal out your feet, walk out your dog, shake out your head. You can bend your knees and look forward and stretch out your spine even longer. And you're welcome to stay there, or you're welcome to come down into a child's pose. Or just lay on your back or your belly, right? This is the space between. We're resting in the space between movement. It's okay to do that. It's okay to pause. It's okay to stop, to slow down, to go inside. We don't always have to be moving. Take this opportunity to pause, take a few deep breaths, and notice, observe the sensations in your body without resisting them. Notice the thoughts without pushing them away. Notice your breath without changing it. We are the observer. So the good news is one side is done. And we get to get ready for the next side. So come back up to hands and knees. Make sure you're cushioning the knee. And left foot is forward between the hands, and we move into baby dragon again. So remember, baby dragon is just a gentle little lunge. We're not forcing ourselves down. We're not pushing our pelvis down. We're just allowing ourselves to be in this shape and see what happens. Let's see how we feel here. And one side is going to feel different than the other for sure. So that's okay. We're getting into the hips and the ankles and even the lower back in high flying dragon. Moving the joints, hydrating them, creating some synovial fluid. So we're going to now move into low flying dragon. Unless you want to stay where you are, you can always do that. It's so good. Walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat. Turn the left toes out to about 10 or 11 o'clock. I guess it depends which way you're facing. Just always make sure the knee and the toes move in the same direction. And then you take it down. So you might bring your forearms and elbows to the floor, or you might prop yourself up, bringing the floor to meet you where you're at. So you're raising the floor so that you can be in your pose. And then you can look up, you can look down. Try to relax the head a little bit. Deep breath in, full breath out, softening wherever you can. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, what we resist persists. So let's face it, let's look at it, let's look at what's going on, look at how you're feeling, look at what emotions arise without fighting it or pushing them away. We hold all of our experiences in life in the body somehow, and so yin yoga is a beautiful practice to get that stuff out. Let's release. So whatever you're feeling is normal. Some people get emotional in yin. I have a friend who laughs all the time. However you're feeling is right and good for you. Just remember to breathe. Really just focus on your breath. That's the most important thing. With each exhale, soften the body. One more breath. And then slowly rise up to your hands. Walk the foot back to center between your hands. And this is going to feel a little bit intense, perhaps. So as you shift your hips back, just breathe it out, sigh it out. And we're now stretching the back of the front leg. So exhale, let your head relax, take a few deep breaths. Inhale, let exhale go. And we're going to go back into it. You're welcome. Shift forward and moving into high flying dragon. So hands come to thigh or blocks, whatever you need to feel balanced. And remember, there's this feeling of lifting the chest, the head, but as you exhale, you're still sinking down. You're going to feel this a little more strong in the front of the hip. And remember, you can always lift that. It would be now, I guess, the right arm up to increase that whole front line stretch. So that's an option. You can even move into more of a little back bend as you look up and lift the chest and keep sinking down. Breathe in and out. We're getting into the stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder, and kidney meridian lines with these dragon poses. So we're releasing stuckness in the energetic body as well. Exhale, let it go, drop it down. Take any sounds you need to as you shift your hips back one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stretching out that front leg. And again, try to straighten the leg. So if it's not, you might want to come up a little higher, propping your hands up on blocks. You might need to slide the heel a little closer to you. Just know that you're probably not going to look like me. We're all different. We're all going to feel this differently. And it's okay wherever you are. Always listen to your body though. And if it doesn't feel right, back off. Taking a few more breaths here before we release. And come back to hands and knees. Shake it out. You might want to go back into that down dog or anything else that feels good for you. This is meant to be releasing. Take a few breaths. Stay up or come down in child's pose and just pause in the space between. Really important to do in yin. Don't rush from one thing to the next thing. Really important to pause. Let the body come back to neutral. Take a few cleansing breaths. We're releasing tense fascia as well. We're hydrating the fascia, which is wrapped around everything in our body. So give yourself the opportunity to settle in between. Inhale deeply, clear it out, exhale. And you can rise when you're ready, but rest as long as you need to. We are going to come onto our bum. And we're going to take beach pose. This is a great pose. Now moving into the outer hip and glute area. So we're kind of going around the hip. So I want you to bring your right leg forward and your left leg is back. Think of creating a 90-degree angle with your front leg. So the shin is parallel to the front of the mat or the short edge of your mat. Foot is flexed. Thigh is parallel to the side of the mat. And it doesn't matter what you do with your back leg at this point. Just create a 90-degree angle with your front leg, this square shape. That's really important. You're going to inhale and exhale and fold forward over your shin. But for some of us, that's too strong. So then you're going to just turn, twist over, and fold over your front knee. So off to the side a little bit. So you're either folding over the front shin or over your knee. You're not leaning to the side, you're folding down, belly, chest, and head drop down. And I want you to try to rest your head on something. So if it doesn't touch the floor, you prop yourself up onto a block or a blanket. And if you can't reach the floor with your arms, you can always bring your arms under a blanket or blocks or bolster or whatever you have. Support the body. Put something under the body so that you can drop down and be here. And you can keep the back leg bent, or you can stretch it out behind you. It doesn't matter, but don't change the front leg. Let your head relax, let your shoulders relax. We're here for a few minutes. So knowing that, settle into it. Make it just right for you so that you can stay. And remember, think passive, think cooling, think yin. Think slower, quieter. Inhale fully and exhale, relax. This pose, beach pose, is usually good if your knees are giving you issues because unlike pigeon, the weight is not in the front of the knee. It's distributed throughout that front leg. Inhale, aware of the sensations in the body. Exhale, relax the whole body. Just give yourself permission to drop down. You're going to feel this through the glutes, the hip, the outer hip, maybe the inner or outer thigh, depending on your body. It doesn't matter. Just stay and breathe. At any time you can back off or go deeper if your body has opened a bit. Be vigilant about paying attention. The practice of yin is going in. So we're faced with ourselves. Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. Just breathe. Notice what you notice. Breathe. The sensations are going to dance around. They're going to move. They're going to lighten up. They're going to get stronger. Just watch that dance in your body. And take one more deep breath in and out. And then you can slowly come up and bring both legs out in front of you. And you can shake out your legs, rock them side to side. You can windshield wiper your knees side to side. Whatever helps you to come back to a neutral feeling in the body. And you can rest as long as you want to. If you want to lay on your back and pause, you can. I'm going to go right into the other side here. But know that you can rest in the middle as long as you want to in these poses. So the left leg comes in front now, right stays behind, and remember a 90-degree angle with that front leg. Shin is parallel to the front, thigh is parallel to the side. I'm just showing you some different options. You're either going to fold forward, belly, chest, and head, or if that's too strong, you fold over your knee. You just walk yourself over to that front knee and fold off to the side a little more. But wherever you are, belly, chest, and head drops down. And if you need to support the body, support the body. It takes doing this a few times to know how you need to support the body and what you want to do, but just keep doing it and you'll get used to what feels right for you. Think of filling the gaps between you and the floor. Support the body so that you can drop down into the pose and just allow yourself to be supported. It's okay. You are always supported, even if you can't see it. You can keep that back leg bent or you can straighten it out. It doesn't matter. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let go. My teacher, Nikki Doan, always told us, we're chasing the tension before the tension chases us. We're here for about 3.5, 4 minutes, so just enjoy. Watch the sensations in your body dance around. Watch the breath. You can even watch your thoughts. They're going to come and they're going to go. Just don't attach to them and get carried away with them. Come back to paying attention to your breath, to your own body. You can always adjust if you need to. If it's too much, you can come up. If you're wanting a little more, drop down a little lower, or maybe move to the center if you are off to the side. Try not to clench up. Try to soften instead. A couple more breaths. Good. One more inhale and exhale. And then slowly push yourself up. You're going to want to bring both legs out in front of you again. Just give them a little shake. A little rock side to side. Just don't forget to exhale as you release. And again, you can pause and rest as long as you want to. Roll the shoulders back a few times. And then you're going to take it down. Have a block or a blanket or whatever you have handy, just in case you want it for our spinal twist, which is going to feel good after all of those dragons and stuff. So on your back, you can rock side to side. You can take a happy baby, which always feels so good. Grabbing the outside of your feet, knees and feet wide, or you can just keep your feet together and keep the knees wide. And when you're done playing, the knees are together, and we're going to let them drop over to the left side. So in yin, again, it's nice to be supported. So you might place a block under the knees or between the knees, just so that your right shoulder can drop down. You can look to the right if that feels good for you. Unwinding the spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, let go of any mental, physical, and emotional tension from the body. You can always stretch out that top leg if that feels good and you have space. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Really focus on the exhale as you unwind and release. When we do a spinal twist at the end of the practice, it just helps to restore balance in the nervous system and release tension in the spine. So you can come back to center and take a big long stretch. Inhale and exhale. And rest in the middle as long as you need to. I'm going to take the other side here. Knees come in and over to the right. I open up that left arm, I look to the left, if that feels okay for your neck. I like to rest my right hand on the top thigh just to ground it down. Take a deep breath in, feel like the breath is wrapping around you like a blanket. And as you exhale, relax the whole body. Softening the eyes, the jaw, the shoulders, relax. Twisting the spine stimulates the urinary bladder meridian line. So again, we're not only stretching muscles and connective tissue, we're hydrating fascia, we're releasing blocks from the energetic body. If you've ever had acupuncture, acupressure, it's the same idea. Release, bringing knees back into center. Give yourself a great big hug for coming and doing yoga today. Amazing. Thank you for coming. Let's end by placing the feet and hands in the air, and we're going to shake everything out as fast as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause and feel and breathe and relax. Savasana, final relaxation. So we're stretching out the arms and legs. You can use anything that you want to get really comfortable here. You can have some cushioning under the head, some support under the knees, especially if you feel this in your low back. Place a bolster or rolled up blanket or pillows or blocks under the knees. And I want you to take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, hold. And through the mouth, exhale, let go. Again, inhale, 2, 3, hold. And exhale, let your breath go, soften down into the ground. One more time, inhale, 2, 3, hold. And exhale, release. Just giving yourselves a few minutes to soak up the practice, to let go of what you don't need. Pausing and resting is medicine for the body and mind. So give yourself permission to rest now. Without disturbing your relaxation, you can start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, the hands and the feet. You can stretch out the arms and the legs, or stay in Savasana as long as you want. But when you're ready, roll over to one side and pause. Take a moment of gratitude for whatever you're thankful for today. And then when you're ready, slowly rise, pressing yourself up to a comfortable position. And take a few breaths in and clear it out. Palms together to heart center, the middle of your chest. Thumbs to eyes, loving thoughts. Thumbs to mouth, loving words. Thumbs to heart, loving actions. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming and for taking time for yourself today. I'm so happy and grateful that you came and shared this with me today. Thank you.